your head is cut. More. Raise it more, a bit more.
I'm trying
Excellent.
to raise both.
Okay, hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm never done 2 lives at the same time.
Yeah, that was Gal's idea, I think, or Mariah's idea that told Gal, that told me. So here we go.
Awesome.
So we are live. We're going to talk about all kind of things and have fun. So you wanted to ask me some questions.
Yes, I wanted to ask you about 2 topics.
Oh,
One,
hold on. Okay. Yes, go for it.
my phone. One of them was doubt.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, especially in a time like this, there's a lot of doubt in people's minds. And I think because there's no jobs, there's no work, people are doubting their, how their careers are going to move forward, how they're going to earn money. There's just a lot of scary things that people are thinking about. So I was hoping that we could talk about some strategies that people can try to alleviate some of that doubt.
Okay, good. So the first thing about doubt, that you never try. You mustn't try, because the whole idea about doubt, what is doubt? Is two opposing certainties. You think that this is right, but then you think that this is right, but then you think this is right, and then you think this is right. And the whole handling of a doubt is actually certainty. You just need to decide something. It doesn't have to be right. It doesn't have to be wrong. Actually, decision is so important, because you are the more you are as alive as you moving, as you are in motion. Doubt stops you, and it prevents you from making decisions. And if you don't make decisions, you really feel bad. And when you feel bad, you make mistakes.
Yeah.
If I drive a car and everything is okay, and then I think, should I turn left or right? Immediately I slow down and maybe I'll stop. Yes. But if I make a decision, at that moment, I immediately feel better, even if it is the wrong decision. So I turn left, I hit the wall, and then I have to make another decision to turn back, and I feel double as good because I made 2 decisions now. So the decision is more important than the correct decision. And the lie that people operate on is that it has to be the correct decision. Actually, any decision is better than no decision. The problem is a no decision. If you will look at your life and make a list, just make a list of things that you are not sure about. Just make a list of things you are not sure about, and look at those things and make a decision about the first one. This is what I'm going to do. That's it. Why? Because no reason. It doesn't have to be logical, practical, nothing. Even if you just invent a decision, totally out of this world decision, and you make the decision and you write it down, you just write it down, and then you go to the next one and you write it down, and you do that again and again and again and again and again, you will see that at one point something will happen in your mind, and you will regain your natural ability to know. Because what does it mean to know? Knowingness is a state of the clear absence of doubt. So all you want to do is to have decisions. Okay?
Yeah, that's good advice. And it's an easy, practical step thing that people can do. Yeah.
Yeah, anyone can do that. All you have to do is take a list, say, I'm not sure about that. I don't know what will happen with that. And then you invent solutions. They don't have to be practical. You say, well, I think that I decided there will be a spacecraft that will land in my front yard and bring me $1 billion. And it
I
will
like
be
that idea.
Yeah, and Earth money, because it might bring you a useless money from some other planet, so it's not good. So you need to be accurate about what you want. And it's not, it doesn't even have to be the correct decision, practical decision, real decision. Just make decision. Is the number of decisions, not the quality of the decision, that will release you from the indecision. The number of decisions. Once you will see that successful people make decisions. They just make decision all day long. They make decision all day long. It's not necessarily the right decision, but they make decisions. And overall, the more you train the muscle of making decisions, the better your decision will be. The faster they will be, the more accurate they will be. Of course, you need to have some basic truth, and you need to have all kind of thing to ensure that you have the correct decision. But when you start to learn guitar, you don't really going to be, I don't know, Springsteen or someone that knows really, like you just want to learn how to play guitar. So first of all, learn the chords. Just make a decision where you put your fingers.
Yeah.
Over time, you will learn, you will improve that muscle, and you will see that you will be able to make decisions. And the moment that you actually trained yourself into making decisions, and you have it as like a big no-no. It's like, no, I'm not going to steal, murder, I don't know, do anything unethical, but mostly I'm not going to do an indecision. Once you have that as a viewpoint about your life, you will see that you will not have any problems, because problems is actually quite similar to an indecision, force counter force. I don't know what to do. I'm stuck. So when a long-term indecision bring about a solid problem. How big is your problem? The longer the indecision, the bigger the problem. The size of the problem is proportional to the number of the indecisions.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So that's a little bit about that.
Yeah, and it's especially helpful even for me. I've heard a lot of this before, but it's helpful to hear it again because, just today I heard back from somewhere where I pitched ideas to a broadcaster here in Canada, and I got rejected of all the pitches I sent, and then I realized that I had basically dropped responsibility on that decision, and that in itself was powerful enough to kind of not be affected by it.
Nice.
So I guess it's also has to do with responsibility and not really like once you decide something to kind of stick to it. And even if you have to change, like fix something after you fix it. So that's been really helpful.
Yeah. You'll see, especially in these times, people are actually pushed into a situation, into a physical situation that give them an excuse not to make a decision. But it's only an excuse, because whatever your business is, whatever is happening, if you don't realize, okay, this is the situation, now I'm going to do something about it. Once you realize something can be done about it, I'm going to do something about it, basically you made your first decision. What people want, they want the full picture, they want to know the result of the playoff game before the playoff game even started, before they even had the whole season. You need to play the first game. You need to do, you do one thing at a time. You do one decision, you do one game, you decide, okay, something can be done about it. Now you start. And once you start, you go forward and forward and forward. And the end result would be you've got a game going. The end result is not you have a win. The end result, you have a game, because everything you should do in order to enjoy the game, not to win. And the magic is that those people that enjoy the game win the game.
That's true. And it's still something I'm figuring out how to master, because for so long you've been doing the opposite, basically. So it's unlearning that.
You need to be able to win and lose with the same level of enthusiasm. I'm saying that for my students for a long time. The key for winning the game of life is being able to win and lose with the same level of enthusiasm, which means you can experience anything. You can experience anything. I can win and lose with the same level of enthusiasm. And then if you are there, you'll see that you will be the brave one. You'll be the winner. You go into a life-threatening situation in the army. And who are the people that get those medals? And who are the people that are the one that everyone wowed by is those people that didn't think about the risk for their life, those people that didn't think about what will happen to me, those people that did what needed to be done in that moment. They played the game of life. They didn't think that they are brave. They didn't think that it's dangerous. They didn't think that it's this. They just knew that is what needed. So they made a decision and they acted, and 99.99999% of the time, they are the guy that also survived the terrible situation. Why?
Because they're not thinking, I'm going to get shot or I might get shot.
Exactly, because the actual way that you create is by decision. You first put the idea that something will happen, and then it happened. You first put the idea that something will happen, and then it happens. It's not that it happened and then you say, whoa, look what's happened. No, there is nothing, look what's happened. You put the idea. It has nothing to do with what happened before. I know it might sound a little bit an extreme, but anything in the physical universe, any fact used to be an idea. Any fact used to be an idea. For something to come about, for a cigar to be here, someone had the first idea, the beginning, yes, the start. So start can be defined as before something was here. Right. So before the first cigar, there was no cigar. So cigars did not create cigars. So you need to have the idea, the nothingness bring about the somethingness. And that's the key. That's why it's just come up with an idea how to handle the doubt. Come up with an idea what you're going to do. And you need to start doing. And don't expect to have the win within 30 seconds. You don't build muscles in 30 seconds. You build muscles over training. You don't lose weight over 3 days. You lose weight over a long time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you can put on weight very quickly, but that's a different story.
Yeah, no, that idea is very true. And I actually had a minor, very minor sort of physical body problem like 3 days ago, where it was something with my eye. And I was like, okay, I know this strategy, so I'm going to play with this. And I just started to create ideas about what it was. So I was like, it's a communication vessel for little fairies. And I was just like totally random ideas. And it's completely gone now. And that was like 3 days ago. Whereas normally it takes like 7 to 10 days, apparently, for them to go away. So yeah, that helped. And then it kind of got my attention off of it. So I didn't wake up every morning feeling like, oh, it's still here or anything like that. So it was good. It was helpful.
It works like everything. We have now, we started this Instagram live. I don't think I ever done an Instagram live, definitely not with another person. And I said, I had an idea, whoa, it's because I thought about, we'll have a Facebook live and we'll have an Instagram live. And as I started, I said, whoa, 1 second, but they will not see you. And I said, well, I have an idea. Let's add her to the Instagram live. I didn't know if it's actually even possible, but I threw the idea and I looked and I just figure it out, because there's no place that to say add the person. You just add. I said, well, just join. Maybe I can add you once you join, and I press the thing and figure it out. And that's why you just decide that you know, and it will work. Quite fascinating. So the key basically is you want to handle life, you want to succeed in life, you need to come up with ideas, not necessarily practical ideas. So you try ideas, and you will see that at one point you will have, oh yes, wow. You can also understand it from a different viewpoint on a physical level. Do you agree that for every plus in this universe, there is minus?
Yes.
Yeah. So every plus, there is minus. Now, what comes first, plus or minus?
Plus.
Obviously plus, because there need to be something before there is nothing. You cannot have you cannot start with a no cigar. Yes? In the physical universe, you first have something, then you can lose it. Okay?
In that case, you just smoke it for the minus, right?
So plus come before minus, okay? So for every plus in the physical universe, there is an automatic minus. Is that correct?
Yes.
Good. Now, if you want just to win, what you do, you leave the lose uncontrolled. It's like not under your control because you're just concentrating on the win. So when you concentrate on the win, the minus become uncontrolled. Yes. So if the minus become uncontrolled, the minus at one point would become more than the plus for a momentary. Yes. And in that second, once you will see, oh, 1 second, there are so many minuses. At that moment, you will actually stop creating the pluses, and the whole minuses will collapse on you, and you will decide, I lost. And you actually never lost in your life. You just decided to stop creating. You never lost in your life, because for every plus there is minus. You're just not willing to look now on the pluses. You see the minuses. If you look at every bad situation that you had, everything that looks bad, if you look back, it doesn't look as bad. Why? Because all of a sudden you see the pluses that you are not willing to look at before.
Yeah.
So the situation is never as good as it looks, and it's never as bad as it looks, because the situation is never a situation, because you creating it, and since you create it, you can uncreate it. Now, of course, you need to learn and so on and so on. And so in order to learn, and in order to, because I cannot explain the whole thing in 15 minutes of life. But if you want to learn how to handle that, if you want to learn how to handle the Corona crisis, if you want to learn more, all you have to do is to go to my website. It's www.meirezra.com. Now, Meir, let me spell it for you. Maybe you should spell it. It will sound better in your English.
It's MEIREZRA.com.
Yes, exactly what you said. It sounds much better from her, like the so MEIR. So nice. So go to meirezra.com and register to one of my either free webinars or paid webinars. You have there all kind of things that depends on what you are interested in, and it will definitely change your life, because what I will teach you is number one, not something that you used to. It is not something that you want to hear, but it's something that you need to hear. And if you will be only willing to listen, you will see that you will find out that you are perfect, and anything that is not perfect, it's not you. And that's the biggest thing in the universe, because you are really perfect. And there's only one small thing. If everyone is perfect and you see only you as perfect, then you stop being perfect. So the only way for you to be perfect is to see everyone else at least as perfect as you.
That's a perfect way to, I think, close off this live, because it was very beautiful and eloquent the way you said that. And it's true.
Thank you. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the chats. Thank you for the likes. And I will see you shortly in the next live. We're doing another live very soon. Yes, in a few minutes. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. How do we say end of live? How do we say end of that? Here we go. And now, here we go. That's good. And now.